So I'm gonna start with you, Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, is Black love a struggle love? Oh, let's just go for it. What do you think? Is it struggle love?
So define struggle love. What do you mean by struggle love?
Anything associated with struggle, anything. Now, if you know, I guess when I've seen struggle love, I just see just dusty situations. You're talking, somebody being in jail or out of jail, domestic violence, somebody not paying child support. I mean, just anything associated with dust
Hmm.
in a relationship. That's struggle love.
I
So
think that's what's highlighted, but it's so funny because when you said struggle love, I was thinking in terms of we're struggling to love each other. That's why I asked you to clarify what struggle love.
okay. That's a sweet way to look at it. I
Yeah.
I prefer
Chantel is just so sweet. Like,
I prefer your definition. I do because I think like
Mhm.
yeah, that's actually a genuine thing. When you find yourself in a relationship, you still got to deal with you, and so
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
be a struggle to learn how to love a person properly. But in the context I see struggle love is usually always 100% of the time associated with just like it's not even like normal struggle, but like toxic struggle. Like
Mm.
again, DV, this person having an affair on you, you know what I mean, verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse,
Mhm, mhm,
whatever it may be. Like
he's broke.
he
mhm,
right,
mhm, mhm,
and
mhm.
she got a bad attitude, stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? So if like the toxicity that comes with struggle. Like I mean, even if you look at what's his name, why am I'm drawing a blank? Yellowbone. I'm drawing such a blank right now.
The baby.
Yes, debate that whole situation, like that right there,
Mhm.
is a classic situation to me of struggle love. So would you say that that is what Black love is?
I wouldn't say that's what black love is. No, because prior to the whole like when was it? Before, women got independent and left the house, we were working together. We were working with our men.
Right.
The thing is, it's not highlighted. Those positive relationships aren't being highlighted as much as the dusty ones, the struggle ones. And then we have platforms who want to come on to YouTube and constantly talk about the dusties, constantly talk about the men not stepping up to the plate. So it makes it seem like it's more men that's not father or husband material than they
Mhm.
really are. But we all know, everybody on the panel know that's not true because everybody on the panel have experienced men who are masculine, stepping up to the plate, providing, protecting.
Hmm.
Absolutely. What do you think, Danica or Reba? What do you think? Is it Black love, struggle love, or
You
what
want to
y'all
go
think?
ahead, River?
Yeah, I can go. So it's so funny because when I saw the question, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I don't really know how like the context of the question, and I thought that was just obviously that's just us. That's showing how separated we are from
Mhm.
how everything is portrayed when it comes to our society as a whole.
Mhm.
Number one. But number two, I think that the biggest issue is like that's what's mostly portrayed, right? Like when we watch like movies and stuff like that, Jodie taking her car, not putting no gas in the car, like that's kind of like the scenario. That's the scenario that is like all the time painted, and
Mhm.
I think that a lot of us have started to feed into that narrative in real life. A lot of people have created drama, situations in real life just based off of like the what is the word I would use? What is it like the stereotype, based off of the
Mhm.
stereotype, like
Right.
people started to feed into the stereotype and making it like real life. So Black love as a whole, do I think that is struggle love? Absolutely not. But do I think that people feed into that struggle love stereotype, that it has to be toxic for us to be in love and for it to be good and be great? I think people do.
Yes,
Mhm.
you're spot
Mhm.
on. What do you think, Danica?
Well, I know exactly what you were saying when you asked the
Right.
question. Because let me just throw that out there because I personally have been attacked so much for assuming they assume that I'm promoting struggle love.
Mm.
No.
Yeah. So
No.
anytime, especially within the Black community, anytime that you get with a man in the beginning stages and you guys build together as a team, you guys start from the bottom really. They
Mhm.
Right.
classified that as struggle love. And I didn't see it that way. And me, being young, and I just got started with, talking about relationships, back in, I think it's like maybe 2013, 2014 over on Facebook. And everybody was talking about, oh, she's promoting struggle love. A woman shouldn't have to build with a man. He should already be established. He should already be an already made man, uh, and so on and so forth. And so I personally do not believe that Black love is struggle love. I just believe that as Black men and women, we do have to, a lot of times, just be real, you guys, we have to bring our resources together
Of
and,
course.
and build from the ground up. A lot of times, a lot of us are not born with silver spoons in our mouths, to where we are born into money, we're born into wealth. And
Right.
so, everybody is already made when we first go out on our own. And so while I wouldn't view struggle love, as far as being Black and being in relationships, I wouldn't see it as struggle love. But a lot of women do. A lot of Black women do see you building with a man from the ground up in the beginning stages. They do see that as struggle love, not just the abuse, not just the cheating and all of that. They would say you being in a healthy relationship, but maybe you guys are just starting off and you get with a man in the beginning stages. And again, we're not talking about a broke, dusty, lazy guy. We're
Right.
talking about a guy that has a vision, a plan, putting in motion. If he's not already made, they will say that is struggle love. And I got a lot of, I got accused of that a lot as far as promoting struggle love, just by telling, Black women more specifically, hey, a lot of times we got to build with our men. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're building with the right man. So
And you
I
know what?
don't believe that Black love is struggle love at
And so
all.
just piggyback off what Danica just said, you would think that's common sense. You
Right.
would think
Oh,
that
it's not.
Right.
you would think that, yeah, meeting a guy, knowing that you guys at a fairly young age, he's not going to be wealthy. And even then, even if he's not at a very young age, you would think that it was common sense to know, okay, combining our income, working as partner, two is better than one.
Mhm.
We can get into this journey together. But yeah, to the Nika point, I do see a lot of women saying Black men wants us to build with them, like, oh, you don't deserve. No, they will say you deserve a man that's already accomplished.
Yep.
You don't have to build with a man. Like the comment that someone left, like, oh, I'm not Barbara the builder, I'm not building with a man. Where it's
Yep.
just like, it just shows that you are a gold digger. You just leeching onto the man and you're an opportunist.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, they'll be like the same exact age. Oh,
Right.
I'm not willing to date, 5 years my senior. But you guys, been out of high school for what, 5 years, and he's supposed to be able to buy you a huge house and a family and take you to Dubai. Like, how is that realistic? But we have a lot of women who have this mentality for sure.
Yeah. And not even that though, Sade, but also they'll say you not having ridiculously high standards. That's struggle love. That's promoting struggle love. Again, that's something that I've also been accused of in the past. It's like, oh, this pick me chick, she's really trying to make us lower our standards and settle. And it's like,
Right.
no, I'm like Chantel, like I just think that that's common sense and that's just being realistic. But
Right.
in their eyes, that's struggle love. And so again, I knew exactly what you were referencing when you asked about, is Black love struggle love, because I've been accused multiple times of promoting that. And I just really thought it was just common sense and being realistic and, coming together and trying to build something beautiful and effectively together. But according to a lot of Black females, okay, not women, females, that's struggle love. Your man's supposed to be a billionaire already.
Right. Yeah, having sense is not really common these days.
At all.
It's not. And to your, it's to your point. I guess I'm learning this now myself, that pretty much anytime you promote something that is basic common sense or is just realistic, then it is associated with struggle love. At least in my experience. I mean, y'all know. I mean, I'm newer in the YouTube space, and just saying something as simple as just like, hey, like most people in America, period, aren't billionaires or millionaires. So therefore your likelihood of marrying one out the gate is really low. Like just saying that is just like I'm attacking, you're shaming black women, you're
Yes.
shaming women, period. You're lowering your expectations. It's like, no, that is actually the reality. And again, people who have all these ideas, I'm just like, do you actually read? Do you know what's happening in the economy right now? Do you know that people across the board of all ethnic backgrounds are struggling financially? So I mean, I don't know. I mean, a report came out, I think it was Times Magazine or Forbes. It was some pretty well-known news source, and they basically released a report a few months ago that showed that economic mobility in America has gone down. Basically,
Wow.
meaning your ability to go up to a different class, it's a lot harder in America now than it was towards years or decades ago. So it's like, how can you hold on to this fake fantasy knowing about what's actually going on? And by the way, our mothers or our grandmothers, that's what they were doing. You know what I mean? Like of all ethnic backgrounds, not just black women.
Right, not just
Black
black.
men.
Like a lot of people have
Mhm.
to start from the bottom.
Yes, and
Right.
see, that was a point that I wanted to make as well. It's so funny because when we have like our black love and like black relationships,
Mhm.
there's always these random terms that they come up with, like, oh, struggle love, or like Danica said, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna struggle with you, I'm not gonna start from. But how come people of other races, like white relationships and stuff, they understand that Timmy is in college?
Mhm.
Very well aware. They will make it work because they know that he's on his way to greatness. He's going to be a doctor. He's going to be a lawyer. He's going to be a this. They're going to be a that. So they're just going to stay there, work it out. They're not even thinking of it as struggle because they see that he's on the path to doing something.
Right.
But with us, it's always, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. No, I don't got time for that. I don't got. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is how relationships build, long-term relationships that stay together for 20, 30 years. They don't just wake up one day and everybody has all this money. No,
Right.
you have to work in. You have to put some time in. But it's
It's
hard to have a problem with like that realization.
It's
Right.
that instant gratification that they want. They want it right now, like, and they don't want to put in the hard work. And it comes back down to laziness that we see amongst our black women. If you look at their weight, that's a big straight laziness. Goes.
Chantel, sis.
No,
I'm gonna have to mute you real quick. No, I'm playing.
it's straight
Come
laziness.
out like this. She come out and your weight. Like, damn, heavyweight
Right.
champion.
I
Calm
ain't saying
down.
nothing.
No,
Right.
But you know what's crazy
Get
too?
over
Because it's like
here.
these same females, as you say, who don't want struggle love will accept struggle love from a Brad. They will struggle so hard for a Brad, and nobody wants to talk about it. Like for real. I mean, I've seen like me personally, some of the dustiest situations I've seen recently have been interracial relationships. And here's the thing, like I'm not against interracial relationship just by default. Like I have some of my best friends are in it. So to me, that's not the issue. But it's when you create all these when you just be promoting lies out there. That's when I have issue. I don't know if y'all heard that situation recently of that one female who her struggle Brad killed her son. Right?
Yeah.
Killed her son, and he was in an apartment for a year decomposing. I'm like, right, right. I'm like,
But hold on. Did any of the divestors talk about that?
I didn't see one.
Oh,
I didn't see one, and that's what I'm saying. It's like to me, I just wish things were more balanced because
Yeah.
if we now start to actually focus in on one thing, I'm like, low key, now you're just being a propagandist. You're just pushing a narrative. You're working backwards from your conclusion. You're not actually wanting to talk, common sense. You're not wanting to have a real, honest conversation.
Right.
So
I literally know a woman who, was like dating black men only or whatever, and then she literally, like, in a relationship with a black man, said, if it doesn't work with him, I'm definitely gonna go get me like, a Brad. And I was like, what?
Like Brad gonna want you. Sorry.
First of all, Brad don't want. First of all, Brad is busy. Okay. Brad don't want.
No. Scratch that, y'all. First of all, Brad ain't no better. So why are we pedestalizing and romanticizing other groups of men? Like, if you don't do the self-work, you're gonna get the same result no matter where you go.
It's the mindset. The mindset is Brad got good credit. The mindset is Brad's family will bail us out if something goes down with me and Brad. That's the mindset that they have. And exactly, Brad is like, I don't know what you're talking about because I done messed up my credit too. I got student loans too. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. So I mean, I just did an interview like a few weeks ago with and I chose a white woman because I'm like, okay, you are a white woman who's grown up around white people, you've raised white men, and you're married to a white husband. Tell me about your life. You know what I mean? And like when I told her, when I asked her, I was like, "Oh, so like, was your life better because you married to a white man?" She almost like, she almost like spit out her food. She was like, is this a serious question? Like, are you kidding me?" And I know her story. I know a lot of her story, and like I said, the dust that she has been through. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's
But
this is not a race thing. It's like if you
It's
are
not.
a toxic person, you are going to attract toxicity across the board. It
Yeah.
don't
and
matter.
I've shared in the past that I have friends in Jamaica who
Mhm.
would be convincing me to date white. And I
Mm.
was telling my best friend in particular, I was telling her a story of a lady was telling me how her first husband was extremely abusive, and he pushed her down the stairs and stuff. And she said, "Oh, you see, that's why you should date white." But what she didn't know is that her first husband was white.
Wow.
Yeah,
See?
yeah. So they're thinking, and I mean, it's sad to see that Jamaica, we do
Mhm.
have mixed, we do have white, we do have Asians, but it's
Mhm.
majority black. It's just concerning to see people in Jamaica still convincing, still have that mindset. Yeah, date Brad. If you date outside of your race, it will be better.
Right.
Yeah, that's what my
Absolutely.
family was too.
Mm,
Oh yeah, no, like yeah, that's the right way to go.
yeah,
That's a different way to go. So that's the right way to go. And it's like, what do
yeah.
you? First of all, no thank you. Okay, just
Gotta
be
use it.
honest. Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, no thank you. Second of all, it's just that supremacist mindset
Hmm.
that white is better, white is right.
Mhm.
You need to get with them because I don't know, you're gonna be on the up and up, and it's just like this mentality. Again, I know a lot of women. I know women who live in really nice gated community, neighborhoods, drive
Mhm.
really nice cars. Their husband, top lawyer.
Mhm.
The one lady in particular I'm talking about, they don't have a joint bank account. She got to pay her bills, and when her check is up, she got to wait till she get paid again.
Wow.
But you want
Dang.
to do with Brad?
Well,
Why? They're not on that one, that unity accord. It might look good and it might sound good, but sometimes you see people living a lifestyle, you really don't know what they're going through behind
Hmm.
closed doors.
right. That's true.
You have
That's
Hmm.
true.
no idea.
That's
Right.
true. Well, for those who are on, please get the likes up. We are talking about what do modern women deserve, and I want to give a special shout out to those who sent in a super chat. I see, uh, pick me, positive, inspirational, companionate, knowledgeable, motivational, encouraging. Thank you, Big Mag the Fisher, for the super chat. Mr. Bobby Wright, I see. What's popping, pick me's? Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Bobby for being
Bobby,
everywhere all the time. Let me just say that.
Bobby.
Bobby everywhere all the time. And then thank you, Raw. I see shout out to Melanie King, Jessica X, and the Crimson Cure. Yes, and then I seen this other
Yes.
one come through. Um Steve, I think Stefan says, my sister told me if a man can't buy drinks for her and her whole crew, then he can't afford to date her. Lord
Girl,
help me.
bye.
Excuse me.
I don't understand that. Okay. That's a
Is
whole
he
nother
gonna,
comment. That's a whole nother
is
whole
he
nother
gonna have
panel.
access?
True.
Is he gonna have access to
Tell your
all
sister
those
to buy
women?
a dog.
Is he gonna have access
Oh
to all
my
those women at the end of the
god.
night?
Exactly, right? At the end of the night, we all better going home together.
She said she tell
Come
it
on.
on. That's